Alright guys, what's going on guys? Welcome back to another video. Getting the early morning start on working on the hoopty. Just right. Getting the early morning start working on the hoopty. As you can see right now, it's what, 10:50. It's a Saturday morning. I'm off, so got a few things I want to run through on this car. First things first is I want to move it. I'm gonna push it back up the yard. I'm having a hard time bleeding my power steering. This rock in this car has been sitting for a while. This isn't the rock that came in this car. That rock was leaking, so I switched it over for another rock, and apparently that rock was sitting for a while. So what I've been advised to do, what I've been advised to do is just I'm gonna jack the car up. I'm gonna jack the car up, and then I'm gonna turn it on, and I'll try to bleed it that way. And then I was also told to crack the lines, not the power steering lines, but the rock lines itself that just sit in the rock. Gonna crack those a bit to try and help air escape and see if that helps. So first things first, I'm gonna go start the car, back it up a bit, and then we will see where we go from there. But hopefully my power steering works. The rock isn't leaking, but I'm just assuming there's still no fluid getting to it like that, or still no fluid in it at all for it to even start to leak. So hopefully, power steering works. But other things on the agenda for today, probably gonna bleed my brakes also. If Dylan comes by, I'll bleed my brakes because I need help doing that. And then also, I have my wideband on the way. Should be here sometime next week. So hopefully I get put that in, see what's really going on with the car, make sure everything's right, so I could probably hit boost for a bit. And then other things on the agenda, I don't know. I was having a weird issue with my car where the car wasn't revving out. I assumed it was a MOF sensor issue, because usually when it's a MOF issue, the car doesn't rev past like 2,500 or 2,000, something like that. And apparently, like I told you guys, I have an AFC in the car, so it was just this wire right here. I mean, it's exposed right now, but I'll fix all of this stuff up. It was that wire. Probably wasn't getting. It wasn't getting the right signal from the MOF, so it wasn't really detecting a MOF. So it probably just pretended like it wasn't no MOF, and that's why it wasn't revving past 2,500. But other than that, so yeah, wideband on the way. A few other things have to be taken care of. I don't have no brake lights, but I think that's just because the rat spit wires, and then I wired it up to the wrong wire, because there are two wires that's the same colors. So gonna deal with that another day, just not today really. But yeah, got a few other things going on. So yeah, gonna start this car and get this car and move out of the way, alright? So I just got back. From. It's hot as shit. So I just got back from the gas station. Car needed some gas because I'm gonna be bleeding the power steering. And the car is to be on, and I was out of gas, so I'm gonna start the car back up in a bit. I'm gonna get it jacked up first, and then gonna start bleeding the power steering. Hopefully it works. Alright, so now the car is jacked up. I put the jack, since my car is like on a slope, I put the jack stands in the back, and then I just jacked this up in the front. So car looks level to me. So about to crack these lines. Let me show you guys the lines I'm talking about. That line and yeah, that line. So I'm gonna crack those to help the bleeding process go a little bit faster. Hopefully that works. Really, I don't know what's leaking. What is leaking? I think that's water. I have a coolant hose. I realized the other night when I was working on power steering that I have a coolant hose under the intake that leaks, which is, I'm not too stoked about that, because if you don't know, I think it's this one. Oh shit, you guys can't even see. I think it's like that one right there. You guys can see me pointing like that one right there. So it doesn't look too hard to get to. I just not really a concern right now. It's just a water leak. But I have bigger issues right now, so gonna get to work on these lines and then see where we go from here. Okay, of course I wasn't recording all that time. Jesus Christ. I don't know what's the last thing I said. But so guys, I'm beat. I'm like actually beat. I'm sure you can see that, but my power steering doesn't want to bleed. Of course, my luck, right? So the dilemma I'm fighting is, I think there's just a bunch of air in the system. So I've been trying to just bleed. A lot of air pockets coming up. I've been bleeding for like, what, 20 minutes? The steering on the whole is just still heavy. I checked the lines. I have another rack in the backyard. And the lines, wait, let me just show you guys real quick. So this. So how we have the lines routed right now, the bottom one is the high pressure and the top one is the low pressure. And then by looking at this, it looks like I have it right solely because this looks, I mean, even though they're both like banjo fittings, this looks like the high pressure line, this looks like the low pressure, because obviously looking at this, a hose is supposed to go on this and then clamp. Whereas I'm pretty sure that they wouldn't put, they wouldn't have a clamp, they wouldn't have like a clamp onto like a high pressure line. It would just probably be like a solid line. So this was most likely the high pressure line. No, this. Yeah, so this was most likely the high pressure line because it has this thing. And then blah blah blah. This fits into the power steering pump because this is an old power steering pump. This doesn't work. This fits into that like that. I mean, I can't put it on now, but wait, let me see. So I'm pretty sure this is the old high pressure line that came in the car. So yeah, this would like sit in this basically, like this, and then put that on, and then this goes yada yada. So what you can do real quick, I can take this and match it up, and it looks like that's about correct. Let me see if this can come out. Yeah. So this, of course, I drop it. Fuck. So this, yeah. So it looks like I have the lines routed correctly. We've never taken this out, so yeah. So bottom line high pressure, top line would be the low pressure. My power steering doesn't want to work. I think there's still a bunch of air inside the system, and plus I think this rack leaks also, but not as bad, not nearly as bad as the last one. The last one I'd probably drive for like 10 minutes and then rack is empty. So yeah, I'll just try to continue to work with this. Try to see if I can get it bled, and then hopefully come up with a solution I can show you guys. But as of right now, just gotta bleed power steering, bleed brakes. I need my wideband to see if I can get my car tuned correctly. It's still doing weird stuff, and then I don't want to like drive it and boost anything, and then it fucks up. I don't want to like blow up or anything like that. So still got a few more things to do. My intercooler isn't mounted on. I'm sure you guys saw that. But my intercooler isn't mounted on correctly. Big zip tie guy, right? Let me turn on autofocus. Big zip tie guy. So intercooler isn't mounted correctly. It's literally just mounted onto the intercooler piping. So usually what's supposed to happen is that thing, the Bosch bar, mounts. I mean the intercooler mounts onto the bosh bar, but I haven't put on the bosh bar yet because Dylan has to come and weld the little thingy majig. So I guess I'm gonna go continue to try and bleed my power steering. This is a miserable life to live, honestly. Holy shit. Little update mid video. So right now, as you guys can see, we have the car jacked up. So what we have done already so far, we bled the brakes. All the brakes are bled. And now we are getting ready to put on the exhaust. So this is the exhaust that was on the car. What is this? What does it say? Thrush? A little thrush muffler. I've never heard of this name brand, honestly. But this is what is going on. And we have exhaust leak number 1, exhaust leak number 2. So Dylan's gonna weld those up, and then he's also gonna cut this part out and then put an actual piece that's the same size, so we don't have no restriction in those areas. Car still starts. We finally mounted the intercooler correctly. Well, I guess you can call it mounted. We put on the bosh bar and pretty sturdy. That's not going nowhere. But yeah, so sooner or later, gonna get the bump on also soon. Maybe today, who knows, I don't know. Yeah. So we inside a dilemma at this point. I had the exhaust sitting outside, obviously, and then the same rat, I guess, who was inside my car decided to say, Jesus. So this is all from rats and stuff. Fondling around in my exhaust and shine the light. Let me see if I can get this.
Okay, I haven't seen it freaking there.
Alright, so we're back. I just pressure washed the inside of my exhaust for like 10 minutes straight with the most aggressive tip we have. So look at all of this. This is like what? Probably like, what would you call this, half? 40%? Yeah. This is probably 40% of all of the dirt that was inside my exhaust. Literally. There are so much bugs, a lot of bones and stuff. Wow. Amazing, right? Tell me about it. But it's just the exhaust, so I'm gonna get back to work on that, get this back on the car, and then see where we go from here. So this is a miserable life to live. I know last video I said, yeah, you should probably build a race car, you know, it's very happy and stuff. Don't build a race car, honestly.
Got his top bob lit, Rick.